This past weekend, your team played Carnegie Mellon and Case University. It wasn't close versus Carnegie Mellon, with your team winning 76-47. What are your thoughts on the game?
I thought Carnegie played really tough throughout, but I thought in that first half, I thought we were starting to make a little bit of a run, and one of those things we had them up by a little bit of a mark. I think we were up 10 or something like that, and one of those points where it's all right, we can either try to blow this thing out a little bit or they can keep it close. And Carnegie played really hard, and I thought even outplayed us. Fortunately for us, we hit some shots in that first half, but I thought they played better than we did in the first half. And fortunate enough that we hit a few more shots starting the half, and I think it was a 7-point lead maybe at the half, and then Brandon hit a few shots, got a 3-point play, and all of a sudden it was like a 21, 22-point game. And I thought that was the key stretch. Those first 5, 6, 7 minutes of the second half, and kind of put our minds at ease a little bit, and kind of gave us that cushion, and kind of played the game out from there.
It was a different story in the second game, in which your team beat Case 58-57. It was a defensive struggle with both teams shooting around 32%. What are your thoughts on that game?
Exact opposite of the first one. Both in score and everything else, but we didn't hit shots. Watching the film again, it just. I thought we even got some easier looks on Sunday than we did on Friday. The shots didn't go in, and some of that has to do with Case. The other part, I don't know, maybe we just weren't focused, but it was a tough game. Case is a really good team. We knew that going into it. We knew we had some tough matchups to deal with, and fortunately they missed one at the end, and we made enough, so to speak. Taylor Simpson hit a big free throw there in the last 45 seconds or so, and somehow that was enough for us in the end.
Okay, let's go back to the first game. What stood out to me the most was your team made 10 out of 13 3-point attempts. Were you guys practicing throughout the week?
It's something that obviously you're always working on, and I think the biggest thing on Friday was, they zoned us a little bit and gave us some open looks, but you still got to knock them down, and we did that. And I thought even shot the ball pretty well on Sunday as well. Probably shot better from the perimeter than we did inside. But yeah, you don't ever expect to go 10 of 13. That's not. A little bit of a fluke there. We had some open looks and we hit them, but if I was smart enough to come up with an offense that we could draw, shoot 10 of 13 every game, I would do that. But that's just, it's not as simple as that. You have to work to get open shots, and you have to knock them down. And we did the first part. I think that was the biggest thing, is we moved the basketball really, really well there on Friday night. And when we play as a team and we move the ball around, we're not an easy team to defend.
Yeah, with the 2 wins, you guys have kept yourselves in contention for the UAA championship, in which this weekend you would play WashU.
Yeah.
Earlier in the season, you guys traveled down to St. Louis and probably played your worst game this season. What do you have to do differently this time to ensure a win and also a conference championship?
We did a lot of things wrong. What was that, 6-7 weeks ago? But WashU did a lot of things right, and they just kicked our tail. And they were by far, without question, the better team that day. And obviously right now I have to say they are the better team. And we just need to. I think they exposed us in a lot of our weaknesses there a few weeks ago, and I think we've worked on fixing some of those, and hopefully it's enough come Saturday, because they really took it to us. In every phase of the game, they really took it to us there a few weeks ago. Hopefully that motivates our kids, and we come out ready to play on Saturday.
Okay, it's also going to be senior day. What are your lasting memories of your seniors?
This is a special class. They're all special. Don't get me wrong, but this is kind of that first recruiting class that we were able to see everything through, and the contributions they've made have been. You can use all the superlatives you want. You can use all the stats you want to show how much they've meant to this program, but that probably wouldn't even be enough. And they've really changed the attitude. They've changed the culture of this program. They're going to leave here regardless of what happens in the next few weeks. Hopefully, the next few weeks, they're going to leave here the winningest class to ever go through here. So they've definitely made their mark, and it has been so much fun throughout the way. And definitely going to miss them, and we're not ready to give up on them quite yet. I've hopefully got a few more games left to coach those guys.
All right. Well, good luck this weekend.
All right. Thank you.